Hey everybody, I got my bro Quay worldwide. The honor I have.
Yeah. Nah, it's an honor.
Yes. Alright, so icebreaker for you. Love or money?
Great question.
Great question for
Love.
you. Love.
Definitely
Really?
love. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I say love too. Alright, so first question. Do you fear rejection when approaching women?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I love it. It just gives me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know you.
Yeah. If rejection just tells me, great. We ain't gotta waste each other's time. Next.
But do you think guys do experience that, and so they won't pursue women?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, rejection is real, whether it goes down in the DM or it goes down after church. Rejection is real. It can happen anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like, too many people are attached with their emotions, so from past experiences, they let that block their blessing in the future. But in life, you just got to keep shooting your shot, or else you ain't going to catch that blessing.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you let a couple rejections hold you back, you're going to really miss out on what could bless you back up.
All right, so if you do pursue and you're interested in a woman, how do you avoid landing in the friend zone?
Well, friend zone is important, I believe, in pursuing. So if you can be a good enough friend to a woman, and of course communicating your interest right in the get-go, and letting her know that my intent, and I mean, if you're serious about pursuing, at this point, I'm like, if I'm serious about pursuing a woman, it's like, I'm pursuing you to court you.
Right.
And if you're not interested in that, cool. I know we're just friends. But if I really want to go after you, okay, I'm gonna be your best friend. Cause I had to be your best friend in a sense before we is,
right. So it's good to be in the friend zone.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with being in the friend zone.
Yeah. All right. So when you start dating or talking to somebody, when does that representative leave? Do you put on the front? Like, do they meet a representative of you, and then like 60 days later they see the real you? Because that representative is real. That's
that is very real.
It's a thing.
I tell it all right there off the beginning. I'm like, listen, I'm waiting till marriage. A lot of times, I'd even ask. I remember, in almost 2 years back, I went on a date. I asked somebody, when you see yourself intimate with somebody, just to see if we was equally yoked. They said within a couple months, and I was like, okay, cool. I know we just gonna be friends then, because that's just you. I'm not gonna try to change you. I'm gonna share my beliefs and my values with you, and that's that. What you do with it is what you do with it. But I let her know, like, look, I'm waiting until marriage.
Right.
You not on that wave, so we ain't even gonna take this any further. We just should keep this as friends. So I communicate and give them all like, this is who I am. This is how I'm living. I'm
upfront.
I'm upfront, off like day one.
That's good.
And, I put it all out there, and a lot of people out here trying to front and be something that they're not.
So is there like two of your top red flags when you're like pursuing a woman, like that you'd be like, red flag?
I say like a woman that, really, one red flag, if you're not on a pursuit after God, you don't gotta be as hard as me, but if you're not on a pursuit and you ain't willing to take the time out daily to praise the Lord, we ain't gotta do it together, but take the time, like that tells me that's a red flag. Because if you're not aligned with your spirit and God, and you're not allowing God to work through you, how can I come into my life through you? Because that's my source. Christ is my source. And if you don't have that, you don't believe in that, that's a red flag.
Now, how would you know? Maybe she doesn't tell you. How would you know she's not?
Oh, that's simple. Oh, we praying together off day one, and I'm asking you to pray. I'm asking you to pray. I know. I got spiritual discernment. So if I see you hesitate, like I get it. Some people, they be like shy to pray, in front of people, this, that, third. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, you pray, I'm going to close my eyes. You ain't got to be loud, you know what I mean? And I have the Bible app. So if I do the Bible app, I'm like, yo, let's do a Bible plan together, just as friends.
Right.
You can't do that. You don't even got the Bible or a Bible app or both. I can already sense already. You're not there.
Yeah.
Now I'm not judgmental. I'm not gonna prejudge, because you never know. There could be a situation where a woman not all the way close to God like that, but is in a pursuit after God, and just need some guidance,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind helping with that. If they're like really serious about it and they're about it and they'll follow along and cool, then I know, all right, this is somebody that I possibly could build with. Now we gotta get to some places
Right.
first
Yeah.
before we get there. But yeah, that's a red flag. And I guess the second red flag would be negative. I can't do negative. Cause you even got some, like, you can love God all you want, but if you just a negative mindset person, like you just don't believe in a lot of things, you don't believe in yourself, you're a self-doubter, you got fear, you got negative thinking, I can't do negativity. Like I'm just allergic to negativity. Like I'm out.
Maybe
Like,
she
I
needs you
can't
to
do
bring
it.
that out of her, though.
Well, all my positive energy, it'd be hard to get a negativity out of some folk. Now, I'm so optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person. A lot of people take my kindness for weakness. But it's like, it's just like, I'll pour as much positivity in you, and I'm going to love you from a distance. That's just what I'm going to have to do if the negativity is too much. But if you're somebody I'm trying to pursue, and you just negative off the bat, then, oh, nah, I'm going to back up. And if you really want me, or if this is something you really want to work out, then you're going to work to get that negative thinking out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so do you think it's okay for a couple to live together with the commitment of no sex before marriage, but they want to live together?
Nope.
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 Why is that?
You're just not supposed to. God put certain things in place for that. And statistically proven, over 69% of divorces that's happening in the United States of America happen with people that live together before marriage. Whether they have sex or not. What's the point? Why would a woman give a man husband benefits and he ain't even planning on marry her? Now, I know you said, oh yeah, they'll live together with no commitment to sex and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the point?
But they say, so some people say you don't know a person until you live with them. So you want to see how a person, like, before you just jump in and you in it.
Well, that's where you gotta lead by the Spirit. 2, that's where you can, like, if somebody's a messy person, you could tell usually on how they either keep their car, or keep their well, let me not say bedroom. That's not that we're supposed to be there. But I mean, like, if you visit them, and most times whether they live in their folks or not, you can tell, you can, like, if you're really with somebody for 2 years, you can tell whether they're messy or not. You can tell how a person is behind the scenes from the house, whether you visit them or just how they are with their life. If there's somebody that's just kind of disorganized and all over the place, like, you just kind of sense, all right, this person's probably not the neatest person. And then that's just an honest conversation you got to have with them. Like, yo, real rap, like, no judgment. Like, are you the kind of person that, sometimes it's not always organized and, your room may be messy, this, that. Like, it's just a communication thing and just trust in the Spirit and, like, leading in that. And if it's somebody that you really want and they're messy, like, you can work through that.
Yeah.
You can really work through that, But living together, I see how for a lot of people has not worked over the long time and has caused a lot of heartache, unnecessary drama, and the temptation to still do what you say you committed not to do.
Right.
Like, if y'all really want to live together, get married. But so many people scared of that M word.
No, yeah. Yeah, they are. They don't want to get
Scared
married.
of that M word.
And they look at it as marriage being years away. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to be
They don't
engaged
have-
to a person for 6 years. Like, that's really a waste of time.
It shouldn't take longer, personally, to me. If you're really with somebody that you care about, you really want to build with, it shouldn't take longer than a year, 2 years to know you want to spend the rest of your life with. You should know in less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years.
You really should know.
So speaking on this no sex thing, so people do say the same with, like, oh, you don't know a person until you live with them. Most people, when you bring up the no sex thing, they're like, oh, like, I need this test drive, test drive it and this and that, and what about it's bad sex or it's garbage or whatever, like, so you wait and then you get married and then it's bad sex.
First of all, I never heard nobody that's waited till marriage and and said that they've had bad sex after they waited till marriage. And that's if they had the Lord in it.
Correct.
If you are so worried about what the sex is gonna be like after marriage and started disrespecting my, that's why you don't trust God. You don't trust God that your wife or your husband is going to provide for you in a way that you would love to be pleasure and fulfilled with each other.
Right.
You don't believe in God enough. You don't trust God enough that he's going to really blossom that. Again, there's reasons why God put certain principles, laws, and commandments in place for us to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the beautiful thing is when y'all two wait together, you have your lifetime when you get married to do all and experience. Oh, all right, this works, this don't work. Like, I think that's great. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a test drive. Don't need to watch porn. Like, all that stuff, that's just, it's just more spiritual warfare and pleasing the enemy when you do that.
Right.
All that stuff is just, you know what I'm saying? It's just wicked garbage that the enemy is just spitting into our minds to have. So,
Right.
you know, I'm definitely not for it because God's not for it.
Right. Now, so you are withholding from sex. What advice would you give guys that feel like that? Like, oh, I gotta test drive it. Like, and they don't want to wait. What advice would you give them to keep in and like really do things the right way?
Yeah, well, if you really love the God and you really have something that's just a burning itch, you know, and I've been there. I get it. It's now been 2 years of me really being serious with abstinence, where I've stopped doing the oral, and my big
The oral. You
yeah, that's all I ever done. That's all I ever done.
You
You know what I
slid
mean?
that in real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah. So anyway, Lord, it's on camera, Yeah, a lot of people don't know the story.
So
They
2
think,
years.
oh, it's Clay.
Okay,
I'm
no.
sure he done da-da-da. The biggest thing I could do before I really got so serious to make sure I didn't was I fasted and I prayed, and I went a good solid month to really let the Lord really cleanse out my system. Like, fasting is key. Like, my fellas, like, if you really are serious and you want God to provide the right wife into your life, and it can happen literally a turnaround within months to maybe a year, 2 years. I've seen it. Fast, like, pray and fast and read, like, really do your knowledge. Like, you ain't gotta listen to me, just check the word.
Right.
Read it. It's in there in the Bible, and even a lot of self-help books will tell you stuff like fasting is major key. And when you educate yourself and understanding why the certain principles and laws are in place, you really understand and be empowered to do the right thing. Because again, it's just saving you from a lot of spiritual warfare. And sometimes the reason why we have to fast is because a lot of us, we so tempted or dealing with all these urges because it's a generational curse that got passed down to it. We don't understand why. Sometimes it's a generational curse.
Wow.
So when you fasting, you got to pray that whatever was generations before you, those spirits that's harnessing, attaching onto you, that it be gone, it be broken, and God just make you brand new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really good. Do you say that you are blessed when you may not feel like that? Like when people ask, how are you? Like, do you be like, yeah, I'm blessed, and like you really having an off day?
I truly believe that I'm blessed always, and even when my day isn't going the way it's planned, I don't believe in a bad day. Like my man Les Brown says, I believe in a character building day. I believe in the enemy is trying me day, but God will prevail on my behalf kind of day, right? So literally, when I say I'm blessed, and I'm always saying I'm blessed, blessed up, you know what I'm saying? Those that know, I'm always saying blessed, because I woke up. So no matter what happened, whether somebody hit me or threw a finger at me on the road, because road rage is real, and I don't deal with that. You really want to know somebody's patience, sit in the car with them on the traffic, on a 1 hour type of delay traffic, and see how they really do. But I really be blessed because, first of all, I'm breathing. Whew, like I can breathe. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people right now that ain't breathing.
Yeah.
We blessed. So I don't care what happens. If I lost everything, as long as I got my mind, body, and spirit, even if a part of my body was broken off, yo, I'm blessed because I'm breathing. I got my mind. I got my spirit.
Right. All right. So last question for you. So why do you think the Black community, we are still calling each other the N-word?
Man, ooh, this is deep. This is so powerful because this dates years back. And it's crazy how the enemy has really pitted against the culture of African Americans. And the thing about it is, when something negative in history gets enslaved in you for a long time, going back to the generational curses, and it attaches onto you, you then re-identify yourself with it. And what happened was, that's what the enemy did. Literally, whether as slaves or whatever it may be back then in the United States, or coming along from ships from Africa, once we were called that terminology, and it was stuck to us, like when you hear something over and over and over again, and that's something that the enemy would do, constant repetition of something negative, you become comfortable with it and you start taking it as your identity. Wow. Same thing with the B word, with women calling themselves that and other women calling themselves.
I don't get that. Like my circle, we don't do that. Like
never.
That would never come out of my mouth.
It's because what happens is when you don't do your research and understand your history and you don't know your identity, you're comfortable calling each other the N word and the B word. When real rap, the African American community way back, before slaves was even an idea, we were kings and queens.
Right.
You're a queen. I'm a king. Any woman, man, I see, king, queen, brother, sister.
Yeah.
The enemy wants to divide us. So when we call each other that N word and that B word, we now separating ourselves from the history of what we were born and entitled to as a king and a queen, as a brother and a sister. And the enemy has found its way through a lot of political forces and spiritual powers to divide the black community and put us against each other. If you look at the black community, we are over 228 years behind in wealth to Caucasians and whites.
Wow.
Latinos, who've been here way less time than us, are only 70 years behind because they understand community.
Right.
The Jewish community, the wealthiest community in the United States of America, and from what I heard and understood, the Russian bank, the United States' main revenue of bank is owned by Jews and Russians. Why is it that the African American community aren't as together as all these other races? Because the enemy came in and broke us down through slavery and had us calling each other them N words and B words and took us away from the history of us truly being kings and queens. See,
that's a word, yeah.
We born kings and queens. How can I call you something that slaves used us and sold us as?
Yeah.
I could never. To call you an N word or a B word means I have no self-respect for myself or for you. And it's a disrespect and a slap to our ancestors.
Right.
And one of the biggest reasons why many people still do it is because the media, sports, and politics. Those are the three, especially media. Future. The man on an interview, when asked, do you even do these drugs and drinks that you be talking about? He said, nah, I don't do it. I was just gonna get paid a lot of money to rap about it.
Right.
Percocets and whatever, Molly's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Big thing in this nation.
But that's what
because the youth is hearing it and that's what they taking in.
SBE got a song that says a little bit.
Yeah.
They lying.
Shout out my man Live.
Yeah. Live, yeah. Yeah, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
They teaching you a life that they
when
never
you're not
had.
educated, it's a defeat on your life. You know? Like Lil Wayne, at least when he rap about the stuff that he taking, like, oh no, I know that man really do lean and sip. And that's why he's sick and messed up. A lot of these other rappers that rap about that stuff, they not doing it. They not getting high off this stuff that's killing people. Or else they'd have been done. Or looking real crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like what we talking about, this is simple common sense, but people want to be dumb and numb to it. Yeah. And that's how powerful the enemy is.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's time to change that up.
It's terrible, yeah.
Oh, shout out to this Need God shirt.
Yeah.
Shameless plug, spiritual plug.
Straight up.
Yeah, so tell the people where they can find you.
Oh,
dancing somewhere, traveling, like
already, man. It's your man Quay Worldwide. You guys can find me on all social media: Snapchat, Instagram at KWE Worldwide, on Facebook as Kwesi Adoko, KWESI ADOKO. Look out for the Spiritual Plug Entertainment events as well. I'll also be hosting a concert for Army Arise November 1st and November 2nd. It's going to be incredible. But shout out to Vikki and the God. Thank you for having me. This has been long overdue.
Yes.
Woman of God right here. Love of the life. This is my sister, Queen, right? My ninja, right? That's as close to the N word I say. This my ninja, man. That's my homie, you know what I'm saying? Like my man Willie Modrin say, man, ninja, you feel me? So, yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's supporting this show. And,
Yes,
shout out to you, you know what I mean?
Share,
bless
please.
up, man.
And
And bless her ministry, y'all.
Yes,
she
please.
got Cash App, Venmo,
Cash App,
whatever.
Vikki Bell.
You know what I'm saying?
$sign
Hold it
Vikki
down.
Bell.
She got the gas in the air running.
Bell, Vale.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.